Hey guys, finally gonna upload because I haven't uploaded in a long time. I was just going through a lot of stuff the first 2 weeks after the surgery. Were really difficult. There's a bunch of videos that I want to drop, but I feel like I need to talk about everything that happened because there's a lot that happened. So the first week after the surgery was really difficult because of all the not complications I was having, but a lot of the pains that I was having on my wounds. They're all healed up now. I'm just waiting on one of them, which was the one where they pulled my stomach from. But the first 4 days after the surgery, I was having really bad pains on that side. And it was really difficult for me to sit down sometimes or stand up, because every time I would do those motions, I would feel a sharp pain. And so originally I was supposed to come back to work over here in the new area that I live in on the 26th, but because of all the pain that I was going through and because of how weak and unnourished I was, basically, I talked to my doctor about what can be done about that and stuff like that, and they recommended me not return to work until another 2 weeks because the state that I was in was not a state that was good whatsoever. I was in pain. It wasn't pain to the point where I was crying about it or anything like that, but after the first week was over, I was getting kind of frustrated because I couldn't, I was I knew what I was getting myself into, but at that point it was just damn, you can't go back, you already had the surgery. You can't go back. You can't do anything about it. You can't reverse it. You can't reverse it. And so it was just about me trying to stay strong and still doing the 2 weeks of the liquid diet again. And that was really hard because my body wasn't taking in the same amount of liquids as it was before, because after the surgery you get 90% of your stomach taken off, and when that happens, your body and your throat, first of all, are still getting adjusted to taking in liquids, and your stomach especially is dealing with a lot of adjustments, basically, because now it can't retain as much as it used to. And since they put that thing down your throat still kind of feels tight and stuff. And so for the first week, for the first 2 weeks, I was having really difficult, I was having a really difficult time taking down liquids. I could only sip water, and that's really dangerous when it comes to your body having the appropriate amount of nutrients and stuff like that. And so I wasn't being able to take down proteins, and that was really difficult for me. Every time that I would drink proteins 2 weeks before the surgery, when I was doing the liquid diet the first time, the pre-diet, it was so easy for me to take down proteins. I would just, one and done, continue, right, go about my day. And now I was feeling nauseous, and I wasn't taking it down, and I was just having a really good time. I was having a really difficult time doing that, and I'm very stubborn, so I don't like to ask for help. I don't like to ask for help. I don't like having, I always feel I need to do everything on my own. And so that's what ended up happening. And my parents would tell me, try to drink your protein, try to, even though it's not going down, just try. And so I would try, but I would just end up feeling super nauseous. And there was this one night, and I also got a lot of insomnia. That's another one of the side effects that sometimes comes, but I already had that before, so it really wasn't that much of a change. But there was this one night that I was forcing myself to try to take proteins, because I just the second week after the surgery, I just felt super super weak. But besides that, I was throwing up. I was throwing up because you can't take pills anymore after the surgery. You have to take like chewable or like dissolvable things, and like the doctor had, not my doctor, not my surgeon, another doctor had prescribed me nausea medicine. And so when they gave it to me, it was in pill form. And so I tried to dissolve it in water, and when I took it down, it made me nauseous. And then I just ended up throwing up my protein shake that I like worked so hard in trying to take down, like a little cup of like protein. Like a little cup. I couldn't take it down. I couldn't, and I was like so mad, and like I just started crying, and I just fell asleep afterwards. And then I woke up, still felt even more sick, but I just, like, as always, try to ignore it because I'm stubborn, and I try to ignore it. I was like, you know, like I can do this, but like I was feeling so weak. Like I was feeling so weak. I was so tired, and like I wasn't sleeping at night. I was sleeping during the day, so I just felt like my days were just like useless. Like I was just like sleeping them off and not going out because I felt sick, and not doing anything because I just felt like I do something, and at the end of, like, I try to do something, and then I just feel very weak and very like tired, and I'll just go back to sleep, and that was it. And so there was this one morning that I woke up, and I was still feeling really like nauseous and stuff like that, but I was just like pushing it to the side. And then I'm telling my mom as I'm trying to take down, like, and like I was just drinking water at that point. Like I was trying to drink water, and then all of a sudden, like I kept telling my mom that I felt like a burning like sensation like right here in my, like, my throat and stuff like that. And she was just like, oh, like it's okay, like you'll be fine, like do you want to go to the doctor? And I was like, no, I don't want to, because I'm like, I just felt like I was bothering a lot, and like I don't like doing that. Like I don't like consistently asking people for help and stuff like that, because I don't want to like feel like a bother and stuff. And so like I just kept saying no, like I've got this. Sure enough, 2 minutes later, I'm like on the floor of my bathroom just throwing up. And then after that, I just like still felt even more weak and stuff like that. And I was so annoyed because for like 4 days straight, my mouth was so dry. Like my mouth was so dry. I would wake up and I would have to go like to open my mouth. Like I would have to unhinge basically my lips from each other because my mouth was so dry, and I had this really nasty like taste in my mouth. And then so then like I was having all these symptoms and stuff, and I was feeling so tired and stuff like that. And so then like after me throwing up, I was like, okay, fine, let's call the doctor. And so then we finally called him, and the surgeon wasn't there because he was on vacation. So the doctor's assistant was like asking me questions, and I told him, I was like, oh, I'm experiencing this. And he's like, oh, are you experiencing this? And I was like, actually, yeah, I am. And so he was like, I think you're starting to come up with symptoms of dehydration, and since you're not taking down enough fluids, you're gonna have to go to either an urgent care or a hospital to go get liquid IV. And so I was readmitted that Friday into the hospital. See, the thing that confused me was that all my lab works came out fine, but like they kept saying, but like this is off and this is off, and we looked at your mouth and you're definitely dehydrated and stuff like that. And so they put 2 liters of liquid IV into me, and like I instantly felt way better. Like I instantly felt better, but then like 2 hours after that, I felt back down. Like I felt like my weakness starting to come back down, and then like my strength starting to leave again, and my tiredness coming back up, and my parents were like trying to walk with me, trying to like get me to be like to have energy and stuff like that, and I just couldn't. Like I couldn't. Like I would go walk, and then after that I would feel so tired again. And so then it was Sunday, and like I was I was like crying to my dad. I was telling him, I was like, honestly, like I regret this so much. Like I was crying so much, and like even thinking about it right now, you know, it makes me like kind of sad, because in that moment I didn't want it anymore. And I kept on telling him, I was like, you know, I would rather be a heavier girl and feel, you know, like healthy and like not feel like this, than to be, you know, 40 pounds down and feel like this, because I felt like complete shit. Like I felt like complete shit, and like I didn't have any energy, and I was so tired of like sleeping my days away and feeling so useless, and I was just like super tired of all that, and I just wanted to feel normal again, because, you know, like being a whole month without like eating anything, and like going out with friends and stuff like that, and being the one that like can't eat, and being the one that like, you know, can't enjoy what other people are enjoying and stuff like that. It sucks, and it was a position that I didn't like at the time, and so then like my dad was like like, and I know how he felt and stuff like that, and he was like, honestly, like I pray for you that once you go back back to where you live now, like that you follow everything you're supposed to, and like I'm really worried about you and stuff like that. You know, having somebody say that about you, that they're worried about you, you know, like that kind of sucks, because, you know, you're pushing yourself so much, like so far, and I was pushing myself so far, and I was trying really hard, you know. And so then like my next day was the day that I can finally take vitamins now, and like vitamins, like multivitamins and iron vitamins, and go into like puree foods and stuff like that. And that night my dad was like, you know, like it's tomorrow, and I think you should just like might as well just take a vitamin like right now and see how you feel, you know. And so then I did. I took one of the iron with vitamins. It's these actually, the fusion soft chews. I took one of those, and like instantly after like 30 minutes I started to feel like my body have energy again, and I didn't feel droopy and tired, and I didn't feel like shit like how I did and stuff like that. And then they brought me like this drink that's like electrolytes and stuff like that, and so then like I was doing everything possible for me to like feel better again, and I finally did, and now I'm here, I'm a week in, and I honestly feel way better than I did like a week ago, basically. Like I feel completely better, and it was so refreshing to finally be able to like at least have an egg, and at least have a piece of cheese, and, you know, stuff like that. That of course everything has to be like very, very well blended and scrambled and stuff like that. But now I can actually drink my water, and now I can actually, you know, instead of having to take little sips and stuff like that, now I can actually consume more, and now I don't feel as tired as I did before. And like that's why I haven't like uploaded, that's why I haven't like posted anything, because I just felt like I needed to talk about this personally before I upload, you know, week 2, before I upload all that. Because I feel like this video is more important, you know, me telling so far my journey through this. I feel like that's way more important, just so that like if you go into this, if getting the surgery is something that you're considering, you know, go with it and do it with like a clear mindset and do it with like a strong, like motivated attitude, because it's not something that's easy. Like, it's not something that's easy whatsoever, and it's not something that everybody can do, you know. Like, a lot of people, and I'm one of those people, that's why I'm telling you this, like, be stronger than me. If you're gonna be doing this, be stronger than me. And I'm not saying that I'm not strong, because, you know, like, I've been dealing with this pretty well, I think. But if you know that you're somebody that doesn't, you know, like, have this like fixation with food, and then doesn't have this like fixation with feeling down and stuff like that, if you're in a good mental like state in your life, and if you're in a good, and if you're a very determined person and stuff like that, definitely do it, you know. And it gets easier, honestly. It gets easier after, once you start taking your vitamins, and once you start being able to introduce new foods into your routine and stuff like that. Like, it gets easier. It's just that first month, that whole first month, after that whole first month for the surgery is hard, and it's difficult, and it's something that I believe that if you believe you can do it, you can, you know. But if anybody ever has any questions, I've already gotten a couple of questions of people who are looking into the surgery and stuff like that, or have gone through the surgery before. I'm so glad, like, I'm so happy to hear about all of that. I'm so happy to hear about your process. I'm so happy to hear about like your new idea on wanting to change your life and stuff like that. Ask me questions, ask me whatever you want. I'm like here, I'm an open book. What's it called? I have all of my social medias linked to my account, so if you either, you know, like, if you follow me on one of them, or if you message me on one of them, you don't even have to follow me, I don't care. If you message me on one of them, I'm so willing to talk to you. And if you want to tell me, if you're going through this process already, you know, feel free to text me, you know, like, hey, like, I'm feeling like this and I'm feeling like that, and I'll try to help you the best that I can. I know how hard it is, and even if you're not doing the surgery, even if you're not going through it or anything like that, and you're going through, you know, stages in your life where you feel very insecure about your body, and you feel very insecure in general, or you're not feeling really well mentally and stuff like that, always feel free to talk to me, because I get it. Like, I completely get that. I know those feelings and stuff like that. But 2020, I know that sounds so stupid. This year is a year that I want to change a lot of that, and I feel a lot better, actually, mentally, and I feel a lot better about myself, a little bit better physically, you know, because that's a process. You don't just lose weight and feel better about yourself. That doesn't happen, you know, like, instantly. It's a process of loving yourself and stuff like that. But I really wanted to upload this video, so yeah. Like and subscribe. I'm really bad at outros and intros, but like and subscribe. If you have any questions, you know, comment down below, or find any of my social medias. But bye.